Blog Talk Radio.
It's Chris Daly, and it's my pleasure with my partner, Janice Maxwell, to bring you challenging dialogue with some great game-changer Jamaicans. And tonight, we have a doozy for you. We have Patrick Gaynor, known as Lox, Curly Lox, and he'll be sharing with us an 8-year journey, a story that's so gripping and so painful. It shares the road to redemption and acceptance that followed the heels of an immense tragedy, the death of his 6-year-old son Zion, after whom the project is made. This book is not just an autobiography of Curly Lox. It takes on several very important social issues for Jamaicans and gives you also a glimpse in this author's past. So to do the interview this evening, we have Janice to do that. Janice, take it away.
Thanks, Chris. June 21st is Father's Day, and Patrick's book, Road to Zion, is very apropos for this particular month. So let's learn a little bit about you, Patrick. Tell us about your Jamaican roots and childhood.
Well, for those who know me, Patrick Curly Lox, Gaynor, one half of the duo, twin of twins. For those who might be familiar with the, with the duo, some might know that we grew up pretty much for a time in St. Elizabeth. And at age 5, there's somewhere there about 4 or 5, we ended up, coming to Kingston. However, life was very tough and challenging for our mother, who was, like a typical ignorant teenager who thought her mother's rules and her mother's, laws, didn't or shouldn't apply to her, because it was like, she being young and her mother being old. And it's like old people telling her not to be young, so that misunderstanding or that standoff, which is typical of most teenagers today. She set her on her own. And, she found out, that life was quite the opposite of those thoughts. And, based on, with father being the typical kind of father too, at the time, who were very ignorant of the role that you had to play, rather than the title of being a father. There was a lot of ups and downs. So we ended up back, in the country with our grandmother, being brought up by that strict disciplinarian, and, back and forth. And then, we were in Grand Spend for a time, Waterhouse and Chisholm Avenue for the most part. And then, that's where, I developed an avid love for writing, through poetry, songwriting, and, so forth. And then, everybody know what it evolved in. I was the one who started out quite by accident, imitating people that I was talking stories about. And, one of my friends said, okay, that sounds like the people. And, it fascinated him. I recorded it. And we hadn't basically looked back since.
I see. You have a tremendous story to share from just the title. Give us an overview of the circumstances that triggered such a gripping tale.
Well, a lot of people, they're familiar with the circumstance, as I'm always quick to express that this book, it's not really about me. It's about, people who can relate. It's not my story alone. A lot of people go through similar things, go through the same exact things, but a lot of them don't know they're trapped in this circumstance, and they allow the anger, the anguish, the negative of the situation to get the best of them. They didn't consciously make the choice, to, realize that even though they were in that, they didn't have to be in there. All they had to do was create that space with their mind, create that space where they, they found comfort, that they found joy. Everything is mind over matter. That is what I did. And I'm saying to you that, this is my guidebook. This is me telling you that if I did it, you can too. There's nothing special or great or unusual or, you have to just make the choice. Everything in life, everything we achieve, or everything that we don't is based on our choices. That is what this is really all about. A very, tough circumstances. And no matter how it's tough, we can beat it regardless. You just have to make that choice.
So, art imitates life. So being an artist, what is the downside of imitation?
The downside of imitation for me, a lot of people are ignorant to it. A lot of people are not aware, that when, let's say, for example, I imitate, people have become familiar with my imitations and I imitate people and I have to add because 99.5% of the time, these people who I imitate, they are not fun characters. I have to create my own fun. I have to create slangs and put personality and give life to it that it can really take on. So when I create when I create around those characters, people just automatically assume that because I'm imitating somebody, that they are imitated to the fullest. Everything about, the situation or the person is imitated. And that is wrong. And then a lot of the time, the people who are imitated in turn imitate the imitator. So what is created or originated, gets lost in translation. And that is what that's a big downside sometimes. Like for example, Bounty Killer never yet in his whole entire life say, I are the one. I invented that to overemphasize his bad grammar. And everybody assume that because Bounty Killer come back after and hear the CD and endorse the I are the one that he originated it. And every other person, 98% of them do the same thing. So people don't know what is originated and what is imitated. So that is a downside.
And then it gets lost in translation. So like being definitely. A twin. Why is it important for individuality?
Because at the end of the day, you are individuals. You are individuals, and there's an upside, there's a downside. To that too, because tell you what, it limits the freedom, on the part of individuals. Meaning, if everyone treat everything that I do or everything that we do individually as a collective, there's a downside to that. Because let's say, for example, I want to do something that can have a negative effect on him. It's not fair, and vice versa. I want to make a decision, and let's say he's halfway across the world and I made that decision. His life is going to get dragged through the mud based on a decision that I make, or vice versa. So it is very important for people to realize that, we are individuals within a group, and that's not a bad thing. I think, Patrick and Paul are two different birth certificates and never really kind of realize that.
Yeah.
You understand? So there is a lot of things, where that is concerned, where we just want to highlight, their uniqueness. We're individuals, at the end of the day, within a group. People treat us as a collective far too long. See, there goes my baby mother. See, between them baby mother, it's kind of childish.
Yeah.
It really is. It's kind of childish on the part of people who don't take the time out to really individualize you, yet respect you as a group.
Right.
They need to realize it's two people. Yeah.
Yeah. So the tragedy involved your dear son. He was on the autistic spectrum.
Yeah.
Given the outcome, what advice would you give to parents about vaccinating their children?
My advice that I would give you about vaccinating your children is first, get all the facts, because lost in translation again. Sometimes the facts get lost in translation with fictitious details, fictitious. You don't know what is real from what is, but there are a whole lot of things where facts is concerned. I think you must really reach out and find out the facts first. Get the facts in terms of, because I noticed, and this was just a notice, that after he got the MMR, that was it. That was when, and there was a survey that came out some months after I realized that, saying the same thing, that the MMR was too strong for the babies at the time, or whatever the case may be. And this was based on some people investigating some things, and it was some kind of conspiracy, some cover up, and a whole heap of confusion that led to me, further feeling that okay, there was just something wrong after that. So I in terms of telling parents what to do in that regard, I'm just saying be very careful. That's all I can say.
I see. You bring up prophetic voice of the challenges of Jamaica. Help us to understand your perspective on these issues and why we cannot seem to break the stronghold of these pathologies.
The problems that Jamaica faces is really, a huge collective. It is very, it's complicated, because the problems come from both sides of everything. It's a thing named cause and effect. And if we're going to break this, if it's a collective problem, it will take collective effort on both sides to really help to break. Everybody have to play them part. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
This is not a quick fix. It's not gonna be an overnight thing. You understand? But we can all come together collectively and realize the first thing that we have to do is eradicate ignorance. Is really, reach for a certain heights. Stop and say to yourself, what make this work that way? What make it constantly that I am a slave, or it would seem that okay, I am on a grid and I am just destined to do the same thing, like like the hamster wheel. How do I get off this hamster wheel? And if it simply come back down to what I said earlier, it comes down to a choice. It comes down to that choice where you have to choose to save yourself. From both sides. Yes, you can get up. You can get up every day. You can say, the government do this or the government do that. But at the end of the day, the government is the people.
Yeah.
We can get up and we can complain about every single thing, but at the end of the day, we are the government. Until we realize our power and utilize it as such, then all the abuse that we face will continue.
Mm-hmm.
Simply a choice to stand up.
Simple. They say people play you as much as you let them. But what would you like others who have not experienced the pain of such poverty and upheaval to take away?
What I would like I'm sorry, repeat.
What would you like others who have not experienced the pain of such poverty and upheaval to take away? If I'm reading your book, what would you like them to do? Say I'm a diasporan and maybe I didn't experience. I'm in the inner city here, but the inner city, say Black American experience wouldn't really be the same as the inner city experience in Kingston.
It is the same. It is the same, because as I'm telling you, there's nothing new under the sun. Solomon said, the wisest man. So there's nothing new under the sun. Different stages, different characters, but same outcomes. Same kind of evil, same kind of good. So what I would want, people who cannot relate to take away from this is first realize that you are blessed. Give thanks to the Most High. Give thanks to that higher spirit than you who have allowed you to either transcend or avoid these calamities. And I want people to start realizing that, start learning from other people's experiences. We can't make every mistake in our life in order to learn from them. So we have to go learn from some other people's mistakes, and we have to go realize how blessed we are when we have certain liberties, certain freedom, certain blessings. We have to be thankful for them. We have to learn how to truly appreciate, because we live our life so much that we don't realize sometimes how blessed we are. Sometimes we say, okay, you know what, I'm not have food, but the next man have life and can't eat food. The possibility for you eat food still there. Most of us live life, like we're gonna live forever. Like tomorrow is just guaranteed, and the man lying in the casket never gonna be you or me.
Not going to be.
Yeah, we just avoid
until reality hits you.
Thanksgiving.
You share,
we just avoid.
You share some glimpses of a solution. You did. So could you share them and tell us why you think it would lift folks out of their despair?
As I'm going to say, one of the main solutions is to not let your situation, disable you. Don't be disabled or handicapped by your situation. Do not wallow in self-pity. Your situation is already existing. What are you going to do? That is the question. And how you answer that question is very critical to success or failure. It's making a choice. It is making a conscious or positive choice to walk away from it all. Because some of us tend, and this is what most people face in the whole entire earth, Black American, ghetto people in Jamaica, we're all the same. We're all going through the same struggle in different ways. But one of the biggest things is trying to live up to people's expectations. Yeah. And you know what happened at the end of the day? If we do not seek to nurture the spirit within us that is called God, whether we believe it or not, we are going to suffer. We are going to suffer in such a serious way because we are avoiding what our spirit wants for us rather than We're seeking to please people who we never please. A lot of people seek to please people and go to them grave at 97, not realizing that they can't. Because no matter what you do for others or how you do it or whatever, they're going to be critical of you because of fear. A lot of the time when you find that place in your life where you are okay and where you are good, people who are not okay, people who are afraid of making the choice of being good are going to always be critical of you. No matter what you do for them or don't, they're going to find the reason why you are not a good person. Avoid them and their drama. Yeah, avoid them and their drama. They are avoid them and the drama. They are toxic. You have to avoid them. You have to build your spirit. You understand what I say?
Yeah.
That is what this is.
That's true.
You understand?
I do. Talk to things, them. Your involvement in the music industry provided you with some unique insights into some of the stars. Share with us your stories around this part of your life.
Well, as the road design suggests, Born to Kill was like the most critical part. Well, was a very important part of that. Born to Kill, was or is the man who made a really say, if you read it, there was, not say put up on the map, but at the same time, as a big artist at the time, was the man who would look around and say, okay, Born to Kill have been doing this, and I'll say it for a minute. Killer is not recognized for, for the immense contribution we make to dancehall, but I guess like Jamaican, in the true nature, just wait till you're dead to really give you that love and that joy. But Born to Kill is a man where if they just say, okay, this can work, and was encouraging. But what most people do, like what I'm going to just explain, most people focus only on the bad in a person. You know what I mean? You will do a million good and they only take the one bad thing that you do and say, okay, you're bad mind or you're this or you're that or whatever. They never focus on the good that you do it. And Born to Kill is one man who easy suffer through that the most, and regardless of this suffering, he has, kept on doing what know say higher than him. He cannot avoid it because the spirit higher than man, When you cut out to do a thing, you can't avoid it. Because I know whole heap of time him wish him never want to do it, but him just have to do it because it's bigger than him. Just like me, the same thing. It's a spiritual thing we can't explain. So Born to Kill Elephant Man, being the man, we come across the whole of them. You understand? And as the road to Zion State, and it tell you the whole entire story, everything wasn't completely good and jolly, but at the end of the day, I chose, and again, a choice, to see the good in everything. Because if you think about the body and everything, you're going to perish, you're going to suffer.
Right. You seem to have a heart of an entrepreneur. Share with us some of the adventures here.
So, share? I'm sorry.
Because some of those ones that I remember in your book, just share with some of your entrepreneurial adventures. I think the audience would like that. Would appreciate that. Yeah,
well, a lot of people, if they can remember, there's a lot of innovations that we come with, and there's a lot of innovations where we're concerned, and like the Kingston 13 closing line, who that we've been that we first came, and we come make reggae music and dancehall. No, so you can't just be an artist. You have to. You have to kind of spread out in other areas where, for example, merchandising and one bag of things concerned. They've learned a lot from us, but based upon the fact that over the years, we never have that kind of political backing, because the music is politics now. If you kind of observe it, it's worse than Garden House. You understand? It's who, it's not talent anymore. It's, that's a whole long story, but we've been coming up with a whole lot of stuff, and the business been plundering the ideas and whatever, especially when you go on interviews and you talk what is next and what you're doing and whatever the case may be. But the whole closing line thing, have to bring out, T-shirts and to do certain things, to keep the thing going and teach. We've taught them a lot, man.
I see. How can others help how can others help enable the dreams of poor folks? So people who are listening to this podcast, what can we do?
what can they do to help enable? Don't be
The
so
dreams of
quickly
forefathers.
critical. Yeah, don't be so quickly critical of a situation you know nothing about, of a situation you cannot relate to. But like I said earlier, consider it as a blessing. You understand? Consider it as a blessing that you don't have to go through this, and you can help by going further than just the surface. You don't tap and say, okay, that person is a criminal, or that person is, they live in this specific place and whatever. Don't be judgmental. Don't be critical. Do not be.
But I think humans do that all the time. That's just I think that's just a human thing. People make all sorts of assumptions about people you don't know. So, but do you have any final wisdom that you would like to share with us?
For me, what I really like share with people is, again, you don't have to go through everything that me go through. You don't have to. When you read The Road to Zion, make it be a way out. Let it be a guide, for you to avoid some of the mistakes that I made, some of the regrets that I had before I find the center, before I understand life and purpose and what I was meant to do. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to try to control the outcome of things. You're going to be bitter. If you don't live and let God, it's not going to make no sense. If you don't live and let that higher force, that spirit within you, just take control. If you don't find faith instead of fear, you are going to perish. And the truth is just the truth. That is what it is. You understand? Everything in life it's a system. It's a pattern. If you do not follow the pattern that creates success, you're going to fail. Failure itself also have a pattern. If you're fearful, that's the pattern of failure. That's what you're following. So don't follow that.
Everything has a pattern or a system, really. I mean, when you're in 5th grade, you learn the circulatory system. If you don't follow certain things, you're not going to breathe correctly. If you do not observe
or make positive choices, then you're going to have negative outcomes. Don't ask where it comes from. You cause that.
Yeah, try true. So how can folks get a copy of your fine work?
Well, this book is available on Amazon.com. And for those who are in Jamaica, it can be found at Songstars Bookstore. It can be found in York Pharmacy. It can be found in the airports, and for now, for people who want information, as the outlets are disclose or whatever information on the book, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Twin of Twins, Curly Lox with an X. You understand? And even my brother too, who was the first person, which is 2 Lox, was the first person to buy a copy of this book. You can follow him on Instagram because he also blasts the information, because this is a one mission for us, regardless of the individual, the individual aspect of it. So you can go Twin of Twins, 2 Lox, that's TULOX, on Instagram for more information, because we constantly put out information regarding the book. So again, people can get it on Amazon directly, and support are the keyword.
I see. Yes, of course, support is the key word. This is a Father's Day treasure. I think everyone would really appreciate it. And even if you're not a father, you'll appreciate an aspect of Jamaica that people may not want to see or know about. So to learn about Jamaican diaspora, visit JamaicanDiaspora.com. To learn about Chris Daly, visit CuttingEdgeApp.com. To learn about Curly Lox book, visit RoadToZionBook.com. And to learn about Twin of Twins, visit TwinOfTwins.com. Patrick, we really enjoyed spending some time with you. One love. Be blessed. Bye now.
You ask me why I live by my own code, and why I carry everybody else's on top of my own load, and why when I meet a dead end, I build my own road. There is no part of my life that I would change if I could. Don't see why I should. The tribulations of my upbringing is why I am so good at being misunderstood. If you ask me why I fight so much to change this life of stress, fighting on like a soldier, never settling for less. why I stay up through the night when others seek to rest. If you really want an answer, only this can say it best. Any stress, bring it come. I'll stand and fight when others run. Cause when it's said and when it's done, I am my mother's son. She made us suffer. The blows came left and right and there was no buffer. When I asked her why, she stood up and she would firmly utter, I'm taking off your training wheels, I'm teaching you to ride. Look only straight ahead, there is nothing at the side. When I fell, she said, get up, there's no time for lying down, I guess, bringing out the bold in me. She taught me not to cry and be a man when she was scolding me. I hated every minute not knowing she was molding me for the day when I would ride alone, when she would not be holding me. Now this seemingly cruelty immunizes me from life's surprises. So what I realize is, it helps me to decipher what's foolish from what wise is. You ask me why I speak the truth so boldly, so coldly. My heart seems otherworldly. You doubt me and I rise. Why is it that I surprise you? When I keep smiling through the pain that you bring and not despise you. If you ask me how I made the best of the worst of time, you must have never heard me the first time. Any stress, bring it come. I'll stand and fight when others run. Cause when it's said and when it's done, I am my mother's son.
As your State Farm agent, I'm going to do something I've never done on radio before.
What's that?
Help you combine your auto and renter's insurance.
State Farm can do that? Wow, that means I can do anything on radio. Like discharge fireworks on unsuitable holidays.
I wouldn't do that.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody!
Oh, look, I'm saying State Farm helps life go right by helping combine policies only because we do that in real life.
That is so cool. Hang on.
No, not inside.
Happy Groundhog Day, too.
State Farm, here to help life go right. Call an agent today.
Oh, wow. You're actually wearing your hair down tonight.
Yeah, because I finally decided that I love my hair. I figured out the solution for my morning frizz, midday poof, and even next day bedhead. It's Frizz E's Secret Weapon Touch-Up Cream by John Frieda.
Well, you and your hair look flawless.
Flawless and touchable. Feel.
Oh.
See? It's soft. Smooth ends, no flyaways, shiny.
Well, I clearly need to get some because your hair looks amazing.
Frizz E's Secret Weapon, only from John Frieda.